Well, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Here it is. Here we are, Sunday afternoon, and it is time to do a little chat as we do every Sunday afternoon right around this time, 5:15. I'm going to wait just a pinch, and we'll wait for some friends to jump on. Hi, Deb. So nice to see you. I'm sure a lot of you who are going to be jumping on are wondering, where the heck am I? I'm obviously in my car, and but there's a good reason for me being in my car, and all will be revealed. Oh my gosh, look at my hair, straight up today. That means I'm absolutely positively excited. My hair is a little crazy, a little crazier than normal, because it is raining outside. And that's not the reason why I'm in the, well, it is kind of the reason why I'm in the car, because if I wasn't in the car, I would be outside. So lots of people jumping on. Dennis just joined on as well. Kat, so nice to see you. My good friend Francie. Love you, Francie. Miss you so much. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope today's Facebook Live finds everyone safe. And, here we are continuing on with the pandemic. And I know you probably tune into a lot of live Facebook hits and all sorts of speeches and all sorts of, some educational hits as well. But this evening is all about you. And that's what it's always is. It's about you. We're having a conversation. We're working through this together. And I usually pick a theme, and then we kind of like dig in. Dinner is always a good theme to touch on super quick. So I hope everybody is not running out of ideas for dinner, because we are at home making so many dishes, right? I've got something in the crock pot right now. So in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly where I am and why I am where I am. I did say that I was going to be coming to you live from my home on every occasion, but I thought today might be a little different. And you know what? I'm not going to waste any more time. Let me just grab my camera, kind of do a quick, if I can, quick turnabout here. And if you can see through the rain there, it's kind of hard to see, but that is my church. That is St. Amelia's. And the reason why I'm coming to you live from the St. Amelia's parking lot is because I thought that we could kind of talk about how faith is kind of gearing and steering us through what's going on. And I don't mean to, I'm not jumping on a high horse here. I am not being a holy roller about it. I am just saying that, we look for the priest at, one of the priests at Mass today, because I actually had the phenomenal opportunity to be the lector at the Mass today, which means it was just me and the priest who was celebrating the Mass, the deacon, and the young lady who was singing, and somebody who was playing the piano. So I had that wonderful opportunity of being inside church today. And I have to tell you, first of all, it was the most wonderful experience to be back in church. If you are a God-fearing person, if you like to go to church on Sunday, you've probably been watching online and fulfilling your heart and your spirit and your soul and your weekly obligation by going to church online, because you can't go to church in person. I think this is the time where we say to ourselves, we can't believe that we miss what we miss, because isn't it true, when you don't have something, you tend to find out that, you're missing it more, that it is just not, you're hungry for it, right? It's kind of like when you're on a diet, and you cut back on sweets, or you cut back on whatever, and then you feel like you want it more than ever. And this is definitely, I would say personally, that was for me. I mean, with God, with whoever you follow, God, the divine spirit, whomever, you can talk to whomever, anywhere, at any time. But to be in church today, to be a part of Mass again, and to receive communion, for me, was a moving experience. And it almost brought me to tears. I was so happy to be inside church and to be a part of Mass again. Very strange, albeit, because there was no congregation there. but just to be there and to connect with God in church was just an incredible experience, and certainly did a lot for my heart and soul. So here's the question for tonight, and I'm going to throw this out and anybody can answer. What have you been doing for yourself to lift yourself up, to give yourself maybe a little bit of hope, to give yourself, to put yourself in a better place? I always like to say that. Maybe it is doing a little bit more prayer. Maybe it's a little soul searching. Maybe it's just doing more reading. Maybe it's doing writing. For some people, it is maybe heading back into the kitchen and doing some creative work in the kitchen. Maybe it's doing some creative work around your house. God bless you. Hopefully, you're not doing too much around the house, like, trying to rip off your roof or something. What are you doing that is bringing you maybe some joy, some peace, some balance? Alora says that daily meditation, prayer, and exercise. Exercise, extremely important. I don't think I've been doing enough exercise lately. That is for sure. But definitely prayer did it for me. What else are you doing out there? What has inspired you? So that's what I'd love to hear from you today. What is taking you to a better place? Now, here's something else I'm going to ask you. Last week, I got pretty darn tootin' emotional talking about how people have changed their ways, how we see a difference in people as we walk our streets, as we go shopping, as we just see people at a traffic light. People have done things to lift each other's spirits up. Maybe it's a sign in your window. As a matter of fact, as I was driving here, I saw a friend of mine who lives in my neighborhood. She has created looks like a garden in her front window with all sorts of flowers. How amazing is that? Some people have put signs on their lawns, signs in their front windows. They put up messages. Maybe they share a message on social media. What did you do? I challenged you last week. I wanted to know, what did you do between today and last week to bring a little sunshine into somebody else's life? Let me know and share that with me. So today is all about, trying to find the priest at Mass today talked about hope. And in many ways, this is a time when we usually celebrate hope and new life because it's springtime, right? So what is it that's bringing hope into your life? Anybody can start a conversation. I'm going to move this camera around just a little pinch here and there because I am in the car. So I am in the car, and you're probably like, if you just jumped on, you're like, Paula, why are you in the car? I probably could have done this at home. But I figured, you know what? Why do it at home when I can jump in the car and come and be in the parking lot of church and talk about that with you? Again, I'm not being a holy roller about it. I'm just kind of sharing that feeling that I was able to connect with something that I haven't been able to really connect with in a physical sense since the beginning of everything that's going on. So maybe there's something that you are longing for. Maybe it is a restaurant that you're longing for. Maybe it is an activity that you are hungry for that you can't wait to experience again. Maybe you're already thinking about, the first day when we get back to normal, which we will never be back to that real normal, but we'll be back to something that resembles it. So once we get back into that mindset, when we feel like we can do almost all the things that we can do before, what are you looking forward to? What is the one thing that you just can't wait to do? It's interesting because a lot of us are actually rediscovering things that we may have forgotten. That closeness, that interaction with our family and with our friends. Beth says that prayers. She does morning daily thoughts with her boys about what they're thankful for before we start class. That's amazing. That is a great way to start your day, to put you in that good mindset, to give you that hope, to keep the wheels going. We are trying to find different things that we are trying to connect to, right? We're trying to find that uplift, that message, not just so much for other people, but for ourselves. But we're rediscovering that closeness with our family, with our friends, even with your neighbors, because you may be discovering that you're becoming close with your neighbors, close from a distance, right? I'll share a story with you. So yesterday, beautiful day yesterday. Let's hope all of you enjoy that beautiful day. I'm in my garden. My neighbor's in her garden. My neighbors on the other side are in their garden. We are all equidistant from each other, and we had a three-way conversation going. Man, I think not only did we miss each other because it's been winter and we really haven't seen each other, but there was just this camaraderie, this great conversation that jumped up where we were all talking about our experiences, and because we kind of long for conversation, right? We find ourselves in this. When you see somebody we haven't seen in a while and you can actually have a conversation in person and it's not on Zoom, and you're like famished. Like I said today, I was at church today and I felt like I was famished for faith. And today, yesterday, you find yourself, I found as neighbors, we were kind of famished for conversation amongst each other. How are things going? Those are the questions. How are things going? What are you guys doing? How are you able to maneuver your way through what's going on? All three of us, all three homes, all three families, we all have a family member that's working from home, for sure. I think I may be the only family member that has somebody that is still working outside the home. My husband has a job that's considered essential, so we are truly blessed, and I can work from home. So we were all sharing our experiences. And will we be able to go back to, will some of us be able to go back to work? Maybe some of us will have to wait a little longer. Some of us may be going to work a little sooner. It's that conversation that when you realize that, you, as much as you are amongst yourselves and you value that time with your family, you still do hunger for that interaction and that family and that friendship. But it doesn't, we can't really do much of that. We can have it in spurts, and it's almost like that some of that in-person conversation is like a delicacy at this point. And we truly value it, and we embrace it more than we've ever done, right? Francie says she agrees about meditation and spirituality. She's been meditating a lot and sending out a lot of healing. There's been a lot of healing going out, right? She does miss conversations over meals and family and friends. We all do, right? We miss those conversations. We miss those visits. We kind of I think maybe we took a lot of that for advantage for a long time. And now when we see that we can't do things, we do have to be creative, right? So we have to come up with these creative new ways to have conversations and to connect with other people. And so what are you doing? Feel free to share what you're doing. Maybe you're at home by yourself. And if you are at home by yourself and you're trying to maybe do some stuff for yourself, that's amazing. But I'm sure there are moments when you wish you could connect with somebody else, and maybe you found a way to connect with others. Just share with us and let us know what you're doing. For me, I have to tell you, I really am enjoying the work from home experience. It is getting a little frustrating, that is for sure, because it feels kind of a little like Groundhogish Day. Not going to lie. I'm taking a mental health day tomorrow from work, and I cannot wait to have the mental health day where I can just kind of have a moment. So have any of you decided to take a mental health day? Maybe you are working from home. Maybe you are not working from home, but you are working with your kids. My neighbor says to me yesterday, who would have thought I would ever be a teacher? And for a moment, I didn't even think. I go, oh, you got a teaching job? And then I thought, oh, no. You're being a teacher to your children. And yes, you are a teacher now. So we're taking on new roles, right? We're taking on new responsibilities. And it's so interesting that we're stepping away maybe from one hurry-scurry in our life, and we're embracing maybe a new career. Maybe some of us will be making career changes. Maybe there'll be an influx in the number of teachers that are coming out and going back into school now because of their experience at home with their children. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing if we all of a sudden had this great influx of teachers? Lynn, my love, Lynn just jumped on. I love Lynn. Hello, Lynn. It would be incredible if we had an influx in the number of teachers. I can bet you we will probably have an influx in the number of doctors and the number of nurses and the number of aides that are out there because of the role many of us may be playing at home as well. Or we want to help out. We want to connect with our community. We want to help give some relief to the doctors and the nurses that are out there that are doing an incredible, amazing job of saving lives, giving people the dignity and the respect that they need in the facilities that they are in, whether they are in a nursing home, or they are in a senior living facility, or they are in a hospital, or they are in a not a recovery, but in some type of medical facility. You know, they're doing such an incredible job. We cannot, if you are a nurse or a doctor or a nurse's aide and you are watching, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because as a daughter of a woman who went through the process of being in a senior living facility, of being in a facility and being in hospice. God, hospice is like amazing. I can't say enough about hospice, but as a person who has recently really lived going through the medical facilities and the whole process, you know, you do so much for us, and you do so much for our loved ones. We thank you for everything that you do. But, you know, think about it. All these nurses and doctors, and how we are becoming nurses and doctors and teachers, and we're becoming social media experts, right? And we're not becoming just teachers to our children. We're becoming teachers to our fellow business owners. If you're a business owner out there, if you have your own business, you're beginning to share some of your knowledge with your family and with your friends, with friends who are thinking about starting another business or a business because they're out of work right now and they need some extra income, and they're looking to do not just something, but to something to supplement their income and to support their family. And you have the knowledge that others seek. So God bless you for sharing that knowledge with others. My friend Pete just jumped on. God bless you, Pete. Hope all is well. You know, to all of you that are jumped on today, and those that watch in the recording afterwards, I want to thank you for jumping on, and hope all of you are safe and secure at home. If you are feeling ill, God bless you. I hope that you are on the road to healing. I want to say that, you know, I hope you stay safe and your family stays safe. These are trying times. We know that, right? We are maneuvering our way through it. We are making it, though, right? We are able to do it. Today's about, you know, not just about hope, but it's about giving you strength. I want to give you strength. Right through this screen, I'm reaching out and I'm giving you some hope, and I'm giving you some strength. This is an experience that none of us have ever, well, maybe some, there might be one or two out there that have lived through something like this before. We haven't lived through this before. This is all new. We are maneuvering our way through something that no one has ever been able to map out for us before. But remember, you know, we talk about teachers and nurses and doctors, and what we're experiencing, what we can share, what we can tell others after this. Our footsteps that we are laying down that others will follow in will be so valuable to those that from generations and generations to come. If you like to write, I'll throw this out there. If you like to write, start a journal. Write it down. Your experience, how you are maneuvering your way through this. What footsteps, maybe you are following in somebody's footsteps that gave you strength, that is able to, even in days past, they are able to lift you up and carry you to a higher place. Maybe you can write about that. Maybe you can write about how you are maneuvering just on a daily basis, how you are a teacher to your children. If you are a nurse or a doctor, writing a journal down to share with others how you were able to maneuver your way through a 12-hour shift, an 18-hour shift. I know there's some of you out there that work, like, the hours that you work are unbelievable. And what you are doing for the community is over the top. My friend Angela has just jumped on. Hi, Ange. How are you? So, that is something that you can do that will help your thoughts and help the process that we are going through live on forever and be a lesson for your family. So maybe you're not a teacher. Maybe you are not a nurse. Maybe you're not a doctor. But, your personal knowledge and your personal experience goes well beyond that. When you share, just reposition myself for a second. Sorry about that. When you share your experience with others, it creates not just camaraderie, but that gives other people strength too. That gives them the feeling, the essence that they are not alone. That they are, you know what? You share a story. I felt the same way. I felt I did that too. It is confirmation for a lot of people. How can they get through it? Did they do the right thing? Because, that's probably a lot of people are asking that question a lot. I know I ask myself that question quite often. Am I doing the right thing? Is this a good thing? Should I? Maybe I should be. There's a lot of questions. So we find ourselves asking ourselves a lot of questions. It's so good to see you too, Francie. It's so good to see everybody that jumps on here. I so appreciate everybody jumping on and sharing your thoughts. I love waves. I love some love. If you want to just give me a wave or give me some love, just to let me know that you're out there, I would appreciate that as well. I always like to see everybody. I try to mention everybody's name. So today, again, it's about hope. And it's about giving others that courage. When you give people hope, you give them strength, you give them courage, you give them a present. This is an incredible time that we are living through. And if you can give somebody just a little bit of your energy and your knowledge, and it helps to put them in such a better place and helps to get them through. Because how many times have we heard it already? We got to take it one day at a time, just one day at a time. Let's just get through it. Diana, so nice to see you. And Paulette, my heart is with you always, Paulette. We can do it together. We are getting through this. And when we share a simple little message, maybe it's just a picture on Facebook of the sun. Well, we don't see the sun that often, right? Yesterday was a beautiful day. Today, not so much. A lot of rain. But it just washes away maybe it washes away some of the madness of yesterday. Maybe some of you were like, it is beautiful outside, but I wish I could do a heck of a lot more, and I'm frustrated. A lot of us are frustrated. We are frustrated. We are sad. We are angry. Sometimes we're depressed. But we have to find a way to lift each other up. And if we can do that for each other, we're doing it. Are we not? I think we're doing it. When we come on Facebook with a picture, or you send somebody an email or a letter in the mail, or put a message up somewhere, you are giving somebody something. Even if it's just the littlest of something, you are giving them something they didn't have a moment ago. And if we are taking this every day, step by step, just getting through the day, that little bit of something, little bitty of something is going to help push you through to the next day, right? When you wake up in the morning and you open up your eyes and you see it's another day, you know you made it through yesterday. You can make it through today. And you have friends and you have people out there that will help lift you up and help give you courage and strength. And if you can't find the sunshine in your day, you need to reach out to somebody. I say it every week. Reach out to me if you need a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of uplift. Just reach out. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a daughter. I'm a dog owner. I'm a teacher in a lot of aspects. I'm just a person that likes to look at things in a very positive way. And I always look at things maybe in a little different way than others. And I hope that sometimes that gives others the ability to see something better, something that's going on that's really going to take you to the place that you weren't a moment ago. Just a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of uplift, something to give you that happiness. So for those of you who are just joining in, I'll just throw this around. Yes, it is a rainy day, and I am in my church parking lot. I'm in my church parking lot on a rainy day. And if you're just joining in and you're wondering, Paula, why are you in the church parking lot? Well, earlier today, I had the opportunity to be in church, to actually be in church. I'm a lector here at St. Amelia's, and every month or so I get a chance to do the readings, which I totally love. It's my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was a kid, I would go to church and I would listen to the readings and I would say, man, I don't understand a lick of what they are saying. What is that reading? And I'd be looking at it going, I don't really understand it. So if I have a chance to come in here to church and do the readings and read it, after reading it and digesting it and understanding it, and I have the chance to read it, so that if you're sitting there, whether you're in the congregation or you're sitting at home, because all of us are sitting at home now, right? We're not really going to church. If you can listen in to that reading and understand it, and then find some comfort, find some strength, find some guidance, amazing. That's incredible. If I can do that just by reading, that's incredible. I mean, the priests here and in every church are incredible. When we listen to them, and they have that way of giving you a message that isn't that funny how you go to church or you go to wherever it is, service or wherever you're at, you go in and you're like, you sometimes when you could go in and you kind of drag yourself in a little bit, and then you're like, man, that was just what I needed. That was just the message I needed. Well, today the message was all about hope, and I was just happy to be in church today. So because I was a lector, I was able to be in the church just with the priest and the deacon. I'm sorry, not the deacon. The priest. Oh, yeah, maybe it was a deacon. Priest, deacon, and a young lady who was singing, and somebody who was playing the piano. And albeit, here I am in church and there's no congregation, but the feeling was so incredible to be into church, just to be in church, and to be able to have that time where I could connect with God in His house. I was in God's house. I was able to go visit somebody today. I went to somebody's house to visit. I went to God's house today to visit. And man, it was the best visit I could have had for the day today. Because it gave me such comfort, it gave me such uplift, and it filled my heart and soul with something that I had been longing for, that I didn't even realize that I missed. It was incredible. To me, it was a true blessing. It was a gift, and I wish any of you to be able to do that, to be able to find that gift of the day. Gwen's on. I love you, Gwen. How about this? Look for the gift in the day. As I said, we go through every day saying, It's just, we got to get through the day, one day at a time. We're going to get through it. No matter what's going on in your life. I mean, this is certainly an extremely different time in all of our lives. But find the gift, find the blessing. Here's another suggestion for you. Has anybody ever started a blessings jar, a gratitude jar? I'm going to throw it out there. I know some of you you've been cleaning your houses, right? You've been decluttering, getting rid of stuff. You probably have found some enormous mason jar or some kind of crazy jar, and you're like, oh, I'm going to toss this out. Well, how about, I'm not telling you to keep lots of junk. I'm not telling you to do that. But I am suggesting that maybe you take that jar and you start putting something in there from now and through the end of the pandemic. Every day, what are you grateful for? Did somebody smile at you? And you can tell people are smiling at you even if they have their mask on. Because you can see that I'm smiling. You can. Because you can see it in people's eyes. People smile at each other even with masks. They wave at each other. You nod when you're at the traffic light. We are saying hello to each other. So if somebody did that to you and you are grateful for it, write that on a little piece of paper and throw that in the jar. Or maybe you did something that for someone else and it actually made you feel grateful that you had that experience, that it was so incredibly fulfilling. Then write that down and put that in the jar. By the time this is over, your jar will be filled. And so will your heart. You'll see that everything that you've been doing and everything that you've been receiving has just exploded. It really is an amazing thing, that power of, that attitude of gratitude, right? Such an incredible experience. It's something that you can use as your personal fuel to empower yourself. To you can use that as something as a as a little recharge. So if you're having a down day, maybe you're not having a good day, maybe you're having a hard day, it's tough. It's tough to get up every morning and keep going through the same, that Groundhog Day experience. But if you see that jar, that gratitude jar, or you open up that journal and you see the stories of experiences that you've had, and you look at them, if you reread them, read some of the stories that you've written, I'll bet you'll surprise yourself. I bet you will read some of those stories or look at some of those things you're grateful for and go, oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome. And you can almost feel it in your heart. That amazing day when somebody just smiled at you at the perfect moment, the moment you needed it most. Or maybe you went through the drive-thru, because a lot of us are going through drive-thrus now, right? And somebody did a little pay it forward for you. And you were like, wow, that was awesome. I really needed that cup of coffee. I really needed that cup of tea. Speaking of which, every Sunday when we come together, I usually have a cup of tea or some water. I've got my beverage here. I have my Marauder Mom mug. My son went to St. Joe's, and I've got my Bengal spiced tea in here. So it's delicious. It's hot and spicy, which is great because it's kind of cold and cruddy outside, right? So, that was a lot of talking. It was, but I love chatting with you. Our chats on Sunday afternoons are amazing. Because you're amazing. I love it that you jump on. I love it that you share things. Diane says that she has a gratitude journal. That's incredible, Diane. I bet you find a lot of inspiration from that. We all should find a little bit of something that we can do for ourselves. What are you doing for yourselves? Is it taking a moment for yourself? Is it doing, some people say they like to meditate. They've mentioned it right on here. Maybe it's playing music. Maybe it's writing a song. Maybe it's painting a picture. I know my friend Paulette is on here. She's an artist, and she probably has been doing some painting. I have been doing some gardening. So that is very, very therapeutic for me. Unbelievable. Not as therapeutic as it should be for my hands because my hands are all torn up, but that's okay. But for my heart and soul, man, I have to tell you, yesterday, hopefully you had a chance to enjoy yesterday because I sat down after working very hard in the yard. A poet and didn't know it, right? Very hard in the yard, and I sat down for a moment and I put my face right in the sun and just sat there and closed my eyes and listened to everything that was going around. And I can tell you, by sitting here right now with my eyes closed, I can remember everything that I was hearing. I felt that warm sun on my face. I heard the birds, all different types of birds that were chirping away. I heard my neighbor's kids playing. I heard children in another yard playing. I heard dogs barking. I heard laughing. I heard music. You know what I didn't hear is I didn't hear a lot of cars. I didn't hear a lot of noise. What I heard a lot of happiness. And it was so therapeutic, and it was so cleansing and so uplifting. Even today, it's kind of a cold day, little dreary because it's raining outside. But the thing is that if you sit even today and close your eyes and just listen, you can maybe you're hearing the sounds of something bubbling on your stove. You're cooking up some soup. Maybe you hear the heater jumping on, but at the same time you're hearing the tea kettle. Those that actually use a tea kettle, the tea kettle's on. Maybe you're hearing your children in the background laughing. You're hearing some music, a good movie. You're hearing, maybe it's none of those things, and it is simply the sound of the rain on your roof. How therapeutic is that? And when we think about it, we have to think about, you can't think about it like, oh gosh, there's another rainy day. Yes, it is another rainy day. But at the same time, all this rain washing away maybe some of yesterday and today, if you noticed, some of the trees are budding a little bit more. And that rain is going to rinse off some of those covers to those buds and help everything just pop open. And life is going to pop open for us. We have to remember that we are giving ourselves a gift by staying home. We are giving our neighbors a gift by staying home and wearing masks and keeping our distance. We have to remember that. That's a gift too. That's a gift on a daily basis. So if for some reason you can't think of something for your gratitude jar or your journal, write down that you wore your mask when you went to the grocery store, that you sprayed down your cart, or you offered somebody some gloves, or you did something like that. Something simple like that. Wearing your mask is a gift. And you know what? It's a life-saving gift. You may not have even thought about it. Susie says that cars are constantly going up and down her house. Nothing's changed. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Susie. Nobody's driving around in our neck of the woods. So come on over to the town of Tonawanda. It is quieter than all get out. And I did notice it yesterday because of the sun. Probably people were out with just a little bit more. So there probably was a little bit more activity. But late afternoon, early evening, it was pretty quiet. And generally speaking, it probably is a little busy, Susie, over at your house. But I bet you it's a little less. It should be a little less because there are fewer of us on the road. If I have to, this week, I actually had to drive into work. And it was an interesting ride in. Driving into work on a Tuesday morning was like driving into work on a holiday. It was so strange, but it was enjoyable all at the same time. Because when I left and I came home, I took the long way home. And I enjoyed driving down Delaware Avenue with no traffic and being able to kind of take in a few of the sights here and there. So, enjoy the silence, enjoy the beauty around you, even though there's a little bit of rain today. Enjoy what Mother Nature is giving us, because pretty soon it's going to be a lot warmer. We'll have days like yesterday on a regular basis. We'll be able to go for maybe a few more walks and hit the bike trail, and it might be a little different. So share those experiences right here. I'll tell you, the other day, a little strange. If anybody has any stories, please feel free to share your stories about things that you're doing for yourself, things that are lifting you up, that are motivating you. Maybe there's something I said that's actually motivated you, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do it, or I love it, and I want to do that. Give me some waves, give me some love, let me know that you guys are out there. So the other day I had to stop at Tops, so make a long story short, that's what my podcast is all about. And here I am in Tops, and I'm with my mask, and I'm walking around like this, and I smile a couple of times, and I can see some people are smiling back at me, and that's awesome, back and forth, the smiles. Very eerie though, a little eerie, as I'm going down some of the aisles, and I hear on the intercom how they were thanking everyone to keeping their distance and social distancing and putting on their masks, and they appreciate that. And as I'm going down the aisle, and people are keeping their distance, being very polite, adhering to the rules, everybody's got their masks on, and you hear this, it almost felt like, and I'm sure you have experienced that too. Hey, Christy, so nice to see you. Thank you. I don't know about you, but it felt like I was in the middle of a sci-fi movie. You watch some of these movies. I'm sure a lot of us have been watching movies. That's another thing anybody can throw up here. If you see like a really great movie that you want to share, something awesome that you said, oh my gosh, that really gave me the energy boost, the uplift that I need, you go ahead and mention it on here so that other people can know that would be something really awful. Well, you can tell us the awful ones too, but tell us the awesome movies. But yeah, it was like strange, very strange in the supermarket, but at the same time, as much as it was strange, like a sci-fi movie, it was comforting to know that we were all working together and to keep each other safe. I mean, there was I don't know about anybody else, but it's comforting to know that you have my back. It really is. You're wearing a mask, thank you. So for everybody out there that's been wearing a mask, thank you. For those of you that are keeping your 6-foot distance, you're keeping with the social distancing rules, thank you. I appreciate that. I value that. My family values that. You're doing something for me, and I'm wearing my mask, and I'm hopefully doing something. I'm doing something for you. It's so comforting to know, though, that we are working together and we are all in this together. Darlene says that I've been saying that for days. Binge watching bad Chinese soap operas. Okay, Susie, that's awesome. And Darlene loves Twilight Zone and The Truman Show. Mary Lou says that she says, you're going in my gratitude. Oh, thank you, Mary Lou. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, every single one of you are going to go in my gratitude jar today, because I have to tell you, doing this every Sunday, our conversation lifts me up too. You're a gift. You're a true gift to me. You give me hope. You give me courage. You give me strength. You give me support. Thank you for being there. And thank you for tuning in. I'm not stopping. If you're like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? I'm not done yet. But you know what I am going to do? I am going to turn on my car for a second, because I'm getting cold in my car. I'm getting chilly in here. And I got to turn my windshield wipers off. I need to get a little warm in here. Plus, I'd like to know what time it is. So maybe about 5 minutes more or so. I'm going to continue to come live every Sunday. Every Sunday we come in and we chat together. If you're just jumping on, because I just saw a whole bunch of people that just jumped on. What's your favorite movie? Throw it on here. This is the place for you to throw on your favorite movie. Let's talk about gratitude jars. Let's talk about journals, keeping a gratitude journal. So I think it's called The Chosen. Is that it? I think that is one of my new movies. I've yet to finish it. I started it before the pandemic started. Now I'm jumping back on and watching that. That's totally inspirational for me. Let me see what else. I binge watch on a bunch of other stuff. So I think the morning show on Apple TV, that was one of my favorites. I love that because I produced a morning show for many, many, many years. So it's great to watch. I love that. I can't wait till they come back again. Just sometimes, and I don't know if you find yourself doing this either. You find your favorite movie and you watch it, and you've watched it like probably 20 times already, but you're going to watch it one more time because it makes you feel good. Or it just, like, it's a dumb movie and you're like, it just takes you to like zero place and just makes you laugh. And that's cool. And that is a wonderful thing when you can just kind of let go of everything, albeit for just a moment, just so you can lift your heart up a little bit more. So it is 6 o'clock. I know it said I was going to go for I'll go for another couple minutes, and then I'm going to jump off because I'm in the church parking lot. If you don't know why, then you'll have to listen to the replay. I'm in my church parking lot. I've got something on the crock pot at home. I can't wait to dig into it. Something like an Italian stew or something that I concocted. But I love that you came on with me today. I love that you tune in every Sunday. I'm so happy that we can be here for each other. Thank you for staying safe and wearing your masks. Thank you for keeping your distance, but keeping your social, physical distance, but getting close to me by coming on Facebook here and sharing your thoughts and the things that are happening in your life. I appreciate you. I think that's a new saying now, right? Appreciate you, but I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate the fact that you're jumping on and you are sharing your favorite movies. What are you making for dinner? We need this. We need this moment. We need this moment where we turn off the news just for a second. I know it's 6 o'clock, so if you got to go and watch the news, that's okay. But we need that moment to just kind of zone out and have happiness for just a little bit and laugh and listen and not be taught how to do whatever. This isn't a class. This isn't a workshop. It's just a conversation. It's just you and me hanging out together, sharing, what do we like? What are we doing for ourselves? How are we maneuvering? How are we getting through this? What are we doing to make ourselves feel better? Did you change the way you're eating? Are you exercising more? Go ahead, throw it out there. This is just a conversation between the two of us. We're having a lovely Sunday afternoon cup of tea together. Man, this is the best mug ever. Keeps my stuff so hot. You and I are just having some time together. And after this, go ahead and go start that gratitude jar. Go ahead and start that gratitude journal. Maybe you're like, you know what, Paula? I probably have a jar somewhere, but I have no flippin' idea where it is. So I think I'm going to clean and I'm going to try and find that jar. Go ahead, do it. I would love to hear next week. I'd love to hear next week how many of you started a gratitude jar, or you have a gratitude jar already. If you have a journal, maybe you're not doing a gratitude journal. Maybe you're just doing a journal. The life and times of Joe Smith, because you just want to mark down the experience, what you're feeling, how you are getting yourself through this day by day, moment by moment, week by week. What are we in? I don't even know how many weeks we've been into this already. It's been a long time. I've lost count. I'm not going to count because you know what? I am taking it day by day, just like you. And I thank every single one of you for jumping on and sharing, just sharing your time, sharing your thoughts, sharing your smiles, your waves, your love. Anybody want to throw some last minute waves and love out there? I'd be happy. Here, I'm going to catch it. Throw it out here. Some waves, some love. I'd love to hear and see you guys. I truly appreciate you, and I appreciate your time. that you give on a Sunday afternoon to come and join me and sit here and just talk and find out what's going on. You know, just checking in. I'm so happy to see so many of you, because you are, you know, I don't know what's going on out there. I'm so happy to see Mary Lou every week. I see you, Mary Lou. I love it. You know, Donna, I see you every once in a while. Sarah, you know, Sarah, my heart's always with you. I love seeing Sarah and Darlene and Susie and all you folks that jumped on today. I mean, there's so many of you that jumped on, and I appreciate you, and I'm so happy to see you. So next week, we're going to do this again, as we do every Sunday. And every Sunday it's a different place. It's a different location. Today I ventured out of the house. I'm coming to you live from my car in the parking lot of my church. Beth, appreciate you too, girl. Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Rosalie, thank you so much. I appreciate you, all of you, and I thank you so much for tuning in today. It's about 6:05. Every Sunday we do this together. So next Sunday, 5:15. Why don't you make it about 5:10? Go grab your tea at 5:10. Get yourself situated. Jump on Facebook, and I'll be here. I'll be here, ready to talk and ready to share. In the meantime, everyone, I appreciate you. I am thankful for you. I express a lot of gratitude and love. Send that all out to you. And enjoy your evening. Bring your family and friends close to you. And stay safe. Stay safe, my friends. Stay safe.